In this video, we are going to show some of the basic features of the SWEP platform and how they can be accessed using the SWEP portal. In order to access the portal, a user has to be created by clicking the Create a New Account button in the login page. After clicking the button, we are presented with a page that asks for information about the user we are creating and the organization it belongs to. In this case, we are creating a new user named John Doe, which belongs to the SWEP webinar organization. The email address has to be valid because it's going to be used by the platform to provide information about the status of some operations. Additional information that is required are the tax ID and a password to protect the new account. After providing this information, the registration process can be finished. Still, we can't access the platform yet, as our registration has to be validated by the SWEP consortium. An email will be received in the provided email address as soon as the validation is performed. Upon reception of the validation email, we can finally enter the platform. After we log in, we are presented with the main page of the portal. In the left, there is a menu with all the basic options that are accessible to the user. We will come back to this later. The first step is creating websites in order to be able to purchase scans on them. This is performed in the section My Account in option Websites. Here we can see a list of available websites which is currently empty and a form to add a new website. In this case, we will add scans for 2 test websites. The first one is the HDIF Showcase application, which will be used to demonstrate vulnerability scanning. After providing all the data, we can click New, and this website is registered in the list of available websites. The other one is a website that we will be using to detect malware. After clicking New and confirming, the website is added to the available website list. After registering the websites, we can add services for them in the My Account section in New Purchase. We will be buying vulnerability detection services for both, starting from today, with a daily frequency which cannot be updated, and malware detection services for both of them, as well with a daily frequency and starting from today. Even though the different detection services that have been purchased appear as pending payment, they will be processed and accepted by the SWEP consortium. An email will be sent to the provided email address as soon as they are processed. We will return to the application once the confirmation email has been received. After receiving the purchase confirmation email, the scans are currently being executed, and we can enter the portal to see the results of the last scans. The first page we see is the dashboard. In the dashboard, we can see a summary of the attacks, vulnerabilities and malware that have been detected during the last periods. In this case, we have no attacks because we have not purchased attack services for the created websites. But we can see that we have two sites with vulnerabilities and one site with malware, which is coherent with the expected results, as we have two different websites, both of which have vulnerabilities, but only one of them has malware. If we want to see the reports, we can click here in the left menu, and we see a list of the last periods where we can see the different websites with malware. In this case, we have only one period with results, one website with malware, and two websites with vulnerabilities. If we want to see the results of the scans, we can click in the corresponding view period link so that we can see a list of the scans that have been executed during that period. In this case, we can see that of the 4 scans that we had purchased, the scans for vulnerabilities and malware for each of the 2 websites that we have created, only 3 of them have returned results, because in this case HDiv Showcase has no malware installed. If we want to see the specific results of each of the scans, we can click on the number of detected vulnerabilities or malware corresponding to the given scan. For instance, we are going to see the list of vulnerabilities detected for HDiv Showcase by clicking 51. Here we can see a list of the different vulnerabilities that have been detected for the given website on the given period. For instance, cross-site scripting, security bypass, disclosure vulnerabilities, and so on. If we want to see only specific vulnerabilities, we can use the filters that we have in the upper side of the web page. For instance, we can see only the high-impact vulnerabilities by selecting high and clicking filter. We can see all of the vulnerabilities with a high impact. We can also order the results using these buttons to see the vulnerabilities in the corresponding order. If we want to see the details of the detected vulnerability, we can click here on View Detail, for instance. In this case, what we can see is that this is a cross-site scripting vulnerability that is with a calculated URL path of the root path and the given vulnerable parameters that are associated to this vulnerability. Remember that in this case, there are several tools that are performing the vulnerability scans. In this case, for this vulnerability, for instance, we can see the different tools that have detected this vulnerability by clicking the plus sign on the left of the row. In this case, we can see that we have 2 different vulnerability scan tools that have detected the same vulnerability, and the result has been aggregated in a single report. A very similar situation happens with malware. For instance, with malware, we can click here and we obtain a list of the different malwares that have been detected in the given website. As was with vulnerabilities, we can also filter by severity, confidence level, malware subcategory, and so on by selecting the given filter and clicking filter here. As well, we can see the details of the malware detection by clicking the View Detail link, and we can see the different tools that have detected this malware by clicking in the plus sign. As new scans are executed, the results will be added both to the reports list, where we can access that information in a similar way as we have shown before, and to the dashboard screen, where we can see the evolution in time of the vulnerabilities and malware of our websites.